If you want to be a collector, you want to make sure that the dealer that you work with is on the same side of the table. Trust is the number one factor. One of my clients said to me once, once you see something a certain way, he's a plastic surgeon. So when someone walks in the door, he sees their flaws immediately. And he says, it's a curse because I see what I can do to make it better.
Sure.
And so the same thing for me with money. It's like the jaded part of it is like, I would rather spend $15,000 on a early investment than I would on $15,000 on a piece of art, unless I knew that it was going to have some kind of retention value. Like for me, as much as I like it and it looks pretty, I'm going to think about it in a different way, perhaps because of my profession. So for me, every dollar that I would put into something like that, I would want to see that there perhaps could be a return for the next generation. So that's totally different. So under that preemption, what would be, let's say that you wanted to get started with your collection, you're still unsure, so you don't know what, you're of means and you want to decorate. Perhaps you just want to collect, but perhaps you just want to, use it for your house as well. Is there a price point at which it makes sense to consult a dealer?
I think consulting a dealer, the first thing it does, pushing money aside, is the sort of the time.
Let me also, if I could, is there a model for dealers where you can pay them, like in the financial services industry, where you can pay them for the advice for the time, as opposed to as a percentage of a purchase?
For as long as people have been buying art, dealers have structured their fee in every way you could possibly imagine.
Okay.
And I'm not being coy with you. I have a really good friend, she charges by the hour. I have another really good friend, retainer. I have another good friend, percentage of every sale. It's boundless. There's so it's really how you and your collector, and I'm talking from, so in other words, if you're my collector, Frank, how much do you want to spend? How many transactions a year? What type of art? How much time do you want to spend doing this? Is this to decorate your house? Is this to put together a portfolio of emerging artists that will one day hopefully be worth something? And based on all those answers, that's how I think the fee structure will turn out.
Okay.
What's the most common way? Probably, there's usually a small discount involved with most art purchases. Sometimes the consultants are given that discount. Therefore, the client knows they're not paying any more than the asking price, and their dealer is covered, their advisor is covered, and they feel like their advisor is going to bat for them in the most advantageous way for them. In other words, if you and I have agreed that I'm getting 10% of any transaction that we make together, I'm going in fighting for the best price possible. You're giving me 10%. You're not paying anything over. That I always feel is the sort of best way, because then I'm really advocating for you, not for myself. I'm covered, so I'm basically just your cut man in the corner of a boxing ring.
Right. And here's the way I see it for anybody doing anything or buying anything of value is maybe the first or the second one. I'm willing to take the blow to know what the process is going to look like for future transactions. So for me, for example, buying a car, you can do all the research you want online and figure it out until you get to the dealership. And then there are the incidental fees that they try to do. And depending on the type of personality type you have, whether you're the kind of person that's going to just say, okay, or you're going to smile like me and say, how do we get this price to this number right here? Right. And I'll let you get me on the yeah,
Yeah,
and I'll let you get me on the warranty. How about that? Why
right.
don't we agree? You know,
Totally.
but what I like to think of it is like it's like dating. This is what I tell my clients whenever they're coming in as prospects and say if they want to work together. It's like you're going to be doing this for a long period of time. If you want to be a collector, you want to make sure that the dealer that you work with is on the same side of the table. Trust is the number one factor. You want to make sure, because that 10% rule could go the other way as well. It could be somebody who's really hungry and say, well, then I want to get the highest price because I'm going to make 10% on a higher price, right?
Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.